Hello everyone. Basically my name is David and I do mainly writing at the minute, but I'm going to try and get into my painting again this year. Basically, before I read anything, I just want to plug my own books. I've got two books. This is my first one and it's called The Romantic Landscape. And it's well worth a read. It's basically portraying basically it's portraying memories and my feelings and emotions through the landscape. Alan, who was in there earlier from Dundalk's radio station, did a podcast on me, so if you can ask him if you want to listen to it, like. And this is my second book, Loud. It's a bit more of a serious book. It hints upon my mental health, but it also has other themes running through it, like romance and all sorts of stuff, basically. But again, it's a good read. We're basically going to start off with a poem called Between. Feel the glide, take on this ballpoint ride. Let not the ink in the pen's chamber hide. Let it meet the paper to greet, for the pen to coincide. 'Tis a marriage. Black blue, black blue. Are you bruising me here, or can you not make up your mind what colour to use? Fill in forms in formal black in capital letters. It seems, oh, so clear. Woe betide, I filled the cartridge. My pen now has red ink. Too many mistakes to highlight with blood. The letters I do link in joined handwriting, perhaps from the pumping beat, bled out through a fountain pen, dripping and leaving an odd blot on a thin wisp of a page's slur. A brush or a pen to flood, to find perhaps the least likely relationships, even in the mingling of this here sweat and blood. And the relationship between a poet's pen and paper is something overlooked. The energy passed through, as if honey is my lover's flower, and the white milk so delicately around the lips. Oh, milk-dewed, whisker hung, in milk pearls, indeed pearls of milk. Read between the lines. It is what the lovers have left, where assumptions are an eyebrow scrunch. The bird with a writing beak on the damp flat beach sands of Siena, tanned, heavy and clumped. Yet a service for a drawer and a writer, and the wadding bird wrote into the sand, like a stick to write our names, coupling a couplet, it rhymes, so it belongs together. As if Sir Isaac Newton's The Colour Wheel, and the opposite, complementary like paper and ink. Right. My next one I'm going to read is A Mother of Four Seasons. I was brought up in a single parent family, and it was tough for my mum, but it was also tough for me. Sometimes the child gets overlooked. But it's about a love and bond between a mother and son that you can't really shake it, if you know what I mean. It's anyway, it's called Mother of Four Seasons. After her spring blossom, petals flutter in sad tales of come and go. But still I walked upon petals so dearly scattered before me. I write with a pencil that fills pages of great and small. 'Tis the tree's heritage, leaf after leaf to write about grief, where every animal has their brawl, and in the delicacy of recognizing each call, from the blackbirds foraging through autumn leaves, to read the land and hear the ground telling in her giving hand. Yet it is cruel for the insect, as she gives and lets up, surrenders, as the birds pull and stretches, the worm from its home. Brown appears to be so boring. Who decorates with brown, like a muddy painting, where there are too many colours mixed together, where the impressionists is left with a frown, yet it gives the basis for growth in autumn's rotting ground. Churned and mushed up to a pulp, damp and full of fungicide, like the husks of walnut in a human moisture. Its warm earth pigment dries to a Van Dyke brown. To recolour a faded patch on a cabinet, bookshelves and cupboards, tables, chairs, or a chest of drawers, handles, knobs or doors, writing tables, bureaus and stools, or to walk upon beautiful wooden floors, to apply sympathetically, to conserve what was built from her. The tree's roots grip in memory's soil, stretch to find water, to hold the ground. There in her stand she gave a harvest. In autumn, her siblings adventure from her, the tree's body, perhaps shaken in the cruel winds, to drop and roll into the long grass. Maybe the apples drop unwillingly before being picked for a ripened society. But apples bruise easily in their knowledge, just like most fruit as it falls from a height to feel the infestation of worms and the insects that burrow, so seemingly laying abandoned on treachery from the tree's body. But it was that which she gave no matter what. Where winter is harsh, I know myself in my cold thoughts of yesterday. The rotting apple provided a natural fertilizer for the pip inside as it searches and finds its own roots. Though what could cut the invisible umbilical cord as I still lay on my bed in a fetus position, and yet it has been many years past since the maternity ward. But stay, stay, I am scared tonight, roots of anemic white. And my little shoot is barely green. I'm in her, upon her, she is but around me. In the womb of her nature, where she grips me tight. Even in winter's nakedness of exposure, a revealed harshness, to lay dormant, hidden from the cold blasts of a left open refrigerated door. In the pips remains a love that can never be eaten, the sweet fruit of a quick greed devour, but the pip's bitter taste from those who try and take the heart of a mother's sibling. I'll do one more, just this one's a bit more darker, you know, it's a search through myself about, what darkness, what real darkness actually is. It's called the perception of darkness. The blanket of the night, oh clouds that cover where the street lights bite, clouds soaking their glow that harness the bright, so sensitive to hold, to absorb and ignite. The clouds rebound, reflect down, as if toxic tinted, tinged to an alien sky. It is a full moon shining bright, and I stand looking out of my window. This perception of darkness is hunted by the electronic streetlight. But through the park, it is the full moon's telling, where shadows appear as beautiful forms, in deep blues that are hard to explain, the subtleties of change. It's a tranquil behavior that applauses the insane. But what whirls around this moon are drifts of ghost clouds, illuminating and shining through their empty existence. Like a thin, fine, transparent silk, it's a blue-white. It is a translucent mist, making the moon look soluble, to dissolve into the night sky, its watery look in a damp air, a witchery of a new world lie. This cold chill that these ghosts spill, coldness in the distance, Ghosts get their heat from my warm body, circulating, sending pimples on my arms, their destiny to fulfill. They flirt with me, my warmth, teasing me of my desires, as if the shadow of my former self. Shimmer in this dull, feathery glow. Oh, pretty moonshine, dance long shadows through this park of mine, before I enter the electronic light zone, where the shadow is nearly always seen, so distinguished with a hard line. Inside are dark greys from a blue-black, these ghosting appearances of a thought-patterned image of a Corvine. Set it ablaze, to the light give praise, as bright as the set luminance running shyly away. Light up the night, leave not dark corner of a question to hinder the mind to fray. To question the lurk, the hiding, the hidden, but light up this here pain. Let dark not show mischief, be in the spotlight of the night, onuses of the shadow's living sight. From the streetlight a contradiction, a shadow so distinct, a blink between, a contrast so juxtaposed. Light up the night, keep it in sight, set it all in the spotlight, to chase away a fright. Light up the pain, set it blazing, so bright and amazing. It is so easy to fall into your shadow from the streetlight, blazing its glory of the white tungsten light. It is here that I am fighting with my own shadow. I put my hands in my pocket and think, yet I am casting you. Throw the bad penny. Cast it into the wishing well, its bronze brown like the autumn leaves shedding. A fire of amber and yellow will set decay, a prayer of burnt intent flicking out to a winter. The flapping leaves as flames in the wind, and the wind tears the flaming leaves. I look up with a chill and said, how dare you whistle that haunted tone? Are you trying to tell me this is darkness? My shadow taps me on my shoulder and said, no, I am darkness.
I am your shadow. I move to your every move. I exist because you exist. I will quicken your heart's tempo. Yeah, try and get rid of me. Go and hide behind that tree. I will still follow. Remember, as a child, you used to try and jump on me, but I always moved out of the way. It amused me. With one of your legs outstretched, tapping hard on the ground where it lay, by this sun-driven form of grey. For what I whisper, you sow. You don't reap, I reap to grow. In you, the seed of thought.
Fear is not in the spider, bat or crow, but it is you that casts the shadow. And that's